While Team 4 at Blizzard is working really hard to regain the trust of the community, the corporate suits at Activision Blizzard keep racking up the mistakes. Let's dig in. Hey guys, I'm James from the Omnic Post. This last week has been very therapeutic, both for us as a community and for the team at Blizzard. And sure, all the news we got this week was just the start. So I'm not going to start that parade just yet. But I have to admit, the news that came out of the Irvine offices has been warming my weary heart. This proves that the team, the people that work on this game day in, day out, care about the game. That they care about the community, about the company, about their co-workers. Sadly, that can be said for everybody. Now, for those that are not aware, Blizzard is part of a holding company called Activision Blizzard. Activision, Blizzard, and King. King is in there somewhere too. And that has been the case for quite a while. Now, in those first few years of what, let's call it the merger, the holding company and the sister company Activision did not really meddle too much with the day-to-day business at Blizzard. But that, my friends, is definitely different today. And it is an issue. It all changed a few years ago. I'm not going to put on my tinfoil hat, but I am really convinced that this started happening when Activision lost Bungie, the developer of Destiny. When they left, Activision must have felt that their portfolio was a little light. So they turned to Blizzard and started enforcing their policies, their managers, the whole shebang, which did not sit well for the management at Blizzard. And it was around that time that Mike Morhaime, the CEO of Blizzard, stepped down. He left the company. He left the company that he had founded with his friends. That should say enough. I think that the pressure from Activision Blizzard on the company had gotten too high. He was done. And we all remember that little bomb that exploded a few years ago about the frat boy culture at Blizzard. Oh boy. At that point, a ton of people left the company, others were fired, and we as fans were upset when we found out that our beloved company turned out to be a toxic frat house. Well, a part of it at least. It was a very turbulent time, including for myself. I've been following Blizzard for a long time. For a really long time. But you know, slowly but steadily the company has been healing. The bad elements have been removed, and the focus is slowly shifting back to the games. Except at the holding company Activision Blizzard. They keep stoking up drama. And the last one I heard about really is taking the cake. That's what they say, right? Taking the cake. I love cake. But don't take the cake. Activision Blizzard fired a manager on the classic Warcraft team because he refused, after their evaluation, to flag some of his team members as underperforming. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. I don't remember what the exact label was. But it seems that Activision Blizzard has a policy that forces them to label 5% of their workforce as underperforming, which results in lower bonuses, lower profit shares. Basically everything that they lure them in with is taken away. And it doesn't matter if they're really underperforming or not. They need to hit that quota, which is insane. It takes the human part out of human resources. So when that manager refused to do that, he got fired. This whole story was covered by Jason Schreier at Bloomberg, and the former Blizzard employee later took to Twitter to explain everything that happened. He made it very clear that this is a direct result of the policies that are forced down by Activision Blizzard, that they're out of touch with the gaming industry and out of touch with their workforce. He kind of opened the books on everything that happened since the merger, and that kind of all confirmed what I had been thinking all these years. The corporate suits at Activision Blizzard are just screwing everybody over at this point. All in service of Mr. Bobby Kotick, who in turn serves the wallets of the shareholders. And yeah, that's how corporate works. But some of these companies really build all of their strategy on Excel sheets, min-maxing those numbers on the backs of their own employees and their clients. It is a sad thing, but that is a speech that I'll maybe give on another channel. Now, what gives me hope, in this case specifically, is that I saw a lot of support for that former manager from a lot of people within Blizzard, on all pay ranks. So that is heartwarming to say. And that next June, Activision Blizzard might be dissolved. See, during the summer of 2021, when that whole bomb exploded, Activision Blizzard's stock prices were tumbling down, and Microsoft did a sneaky. They made an offer on Activision Blizzard. A smart move, to be honest. They probably had already plans in that direction, and they just took the opportunity. So a deal was struck. It almost didn't happen because Bobby Kotick was convinced that he could get a better deal. Yeah, good luck, buddy. I mean, that's what I mean, min-maxing the Excel sheets. It's insane. But anyways, by June 2023, the deal should be closed. Should be, again. Because in the recent months we've seen a lot of news reports of governments, of organizations, of companies even like Google and Nvidia, while they are all opposing this takeover. But according to me, that is politics. I've seen it happen in other places. Everybody wants to get something out of this deal. Some want to get some guarantees for their citizens, for their employees. Others maybe want some exposure. And then there's a few others that want to use this situation to bargain. And I'm trying to use the word bargain, but it's actually kind of more like blackmail. They want to get some stuff out of this. Now, I'm still pretty positive that this deal will go through. We'll see. The question is it going to be better? Well, first things first, it's going to be different. That is something at least. And I do hope that they dissolve the whole Activision Blizzard holding and that they kind of park them separately under Microsoft. Because keep Activision and Blizzard, keep them apart, please. This way the Blizzard management can get empowered to set their own course. I mean, for a company of that size, you're always kind of explaining yourself to someone. You're always going to be accountable. But at least they should have a few fewer people messing about in the day-to-day business. And Microsoft, well, they aren't saints. They're also one of those corporate machines. And I don't know if you heard this, but they recently fired 10,000 people. Among those were people that were in studios that they bought a few years ago. But I don't think it can be any worse than Bobby Kotick and his friends. I saw an article a few weeks ago. I think it was on Dexerto. And the headline was, "The biggest a-holes in the gaming industry." And his picture was front and center. He was #1. And I think by a long shot. I mean, I do not know how this guy sleeps at night. Well, probably on a huge pile of money, but still. I really hope we can all leave this behind us at some point soon. That the people at Blizzard can be happy. That Blizzard becomes that employer again that everybody wants to work for. A company with employees that really enjoy working there. That manages to inspire the people to make it a safe space for their employees and for us as a community. And you know what? That is going to result in better games and more money. Anyways, tell me, do you think it's going to be better when Microsoft takes over? Let me know in the comments. Join me during my streams on twitch.tv/DamesAceTV and make sure to subscribe for more updates on Overwatch.